This conference will now be recorded.
First, am I audible, right? Actually, just be. I want everyone should be interactive. Okay, I don't want pin drop silent. So you can ask any questions because you people are paying. So you are coming here to learn something. So you can ask more questions. Am I audible, right?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you, Surya. Okay. Then welcome all. So before starting this session, right, I would like to introduce myself first. Okay, my name is Priyanka. So I will be trainer for this entire training. I'll share the course syllabus. Then later on, I'll also start screen sharing after my introductions. Okay, so I have an 8+ years of experience into the performance testing. Not only the JMeter, I have a different tool like a LoadRunner, the executions tool, and as well as the monitoring tool like a Dynatrace, SiteScope, Monsa, so other New Lake. So these are the monitoring sites also have been involved. I'm not like a trainer. I'm currently working in other organization like a product based. So I have an experience in like a telecommunications project, insurance, educations. So currently I'm working in banking domain. Okay. So I'm completely into I'm working in project, right? So I have a hands-on as well as I know how to handle the project as a team lead because I'm a team lead. So I can give you from start to end. Okay. Not like a KT or not like a training like a student. So you can also, if you're joining one project, if you're starting one project, okay, if you're attending for any interview, so this section will be useful for you. Okay, I can guarantee that. Even after this session, I'll be contacting WhatsApp too. Even the number will be shared. Okay, you can call me. Suppose if I'm not reachable, just ping me. I'll respond as soon as possible. Okay. Also, please unmute yourself if you have any questions. Okay. Suppose if I'm not able to answer at the moment, I can try to solve your answer at the end. Okay. Don't be worried. Okay. Let me start sharing my screen to see the course syllabus now. Okay. If I'm one more thing, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. Okay. Because I'll not repeat the keep on same word like a trainer. So it will completely like how you're entering into the project, how you'll handle the project, how you will get an hands-on. So it will be like a professional level. Okay, you can stop me. Okay, if I'm going too fast, I'll not go too fast, but still stop me. Okay, if you feel like. It's my screen visible, the content.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the core syllabus I'm going to cover. Okay. So starting from the performance testing and end how you will sign off the project. So these are the things we are going to cover in this course, not in theoretical as well as the practical section. Okay, as is the introduction. So you want to know, right, which are the topics I'm going to cover, whether it's useful for your career. So definitely it will be useful, but still you want to know the content and just want to share the syllabus first, then we'll start the practical session. Okay, without knowing the theoretical you will not start into practical, right? So I'll start with three theoretical ones, then we'll go for practical. Okay, so first I'll start with the performance testing. So you need to understand first what's performance testing, right? Then only if you're entering into some project, if you're attending any interview, you should know why we are going for JMeter, why we are picking this tool, right? So you need to understand the basics of the performance testing. So I'll cover those introduction. So what, why, and what are those type? Okay, it's completely like introductions. So basically like why we are going a performance testing, basically performance testing is non-functional testing. It's not a functional testing, it's a final stage. Once the functional testing is completed, then we will do the performance testing, then it will go to productions. right? So I'll start the introduction of performance testing and a life cycle. Why you need to know the life cycle means, for example, you are in one project, okay? You are going to start scripting. So you will not start the scripting directly, okay? You need to know the requirement first. Based on your requirement, you need to create a plan. Okay, I got that requirement. These are the scenarios I'm going to cover. Correct. So based on the scenarios, I'm going to write a script. Correct. After the script, based on a requirement, I'm going to execute. Then after an execution, you will raise a defect. Then defect, you will go for sign off. So your life cycle will be like, for example, I think I shared only this. Maybe I'll write it top. Okay. Mm. So first you will collect a requirement. That's a non-functional requirement. Okay. Then you will create a plan, the test plan. Then you will do the scripting. Then you will do an execution, and the last is report. The report, there is a various format. I'll tell you one. See your project how the report will be. Okay, don't worry, I'll show you the template. I'll show how we can write these informations, everything. Okay, the summary report means sign off. Okay, you should know this cycle, because if without knowing cycle, you can also do only scripting and execution. Okay, but better you have to understand the requirement first till the sign off. Okay, even if you are a beginner, okay, just understand your requirement first, then follow your approach. Okay, so this is the life cycle. Okay, this is the life cycle of the performance testing. And in this life cycle also, you will face different challenge. Okay, you have to collect some requirement in the sense, you need to know what are the details I need to collect, what are the informations I need, what are the, like, infra. For example, if you are going to run some applications, what are the machines you need, right? So how you have to collect, so you will face different challenge. So you should know what are the details I have to collect, right? So that is the life cycle. Okay, so these life cycles I'll cover. Okay. Then, so you know the performance testing. Then you know you are going to pick a JMeter tool, right? Here there are lots of tools, but currently our course is JMeter. So I'll tell you what's JMeter. If you're starting JMeter, why you are going to pick a JMeter? I'll compare the JMeter with other tool, LoadRunner. Okay, I'll compare. Okay, then only you will get it. Easily you can collect everything. Okay, so why we need a JMeter, how you can get those JMeter from the client or Google, how you can collect those tool, what are the prerequisite you know need. For example, if it's a JMeter, okay, it's completely a Java based. Okay, it's completely a Java based platform. So you need Java to be installed your machine. Okay, so without Java, you will not do any executions. You will not even open JMeter. So I'll tell you how to install. You know, everyone should know how to install Java, how to do the setup. But still, I'll cover because this is the prerequisite. I will cover how to set up Java in your machine. Okay, and these JMeter, right? You can run in both Mac as well as Windows. Okay, you can download Mac as well as Windows. Okay, I'll tell you. But when you are running, right, when you are running or when you are opening JMeter, only small steps you have to change at the initial step to view the JMeter. The initial step might vary. Okay, no, definitely it will vary, right? It completely different OS. So currently I'm using a Mac. Windows only we will cover, but I'm having a Mac, right? I'll also show you how you can open and how you can execute in the different platforms. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So I'll tell you how to install. It's very simple, but still, as we are covering from the scratch, from the beginner we are covering to advanced, right? So I'll cover from the scratch. Okay, how to install, how to launch with it. Even I'll cover Mac. Okay, and so you once you got the tool, JMeter tool, you will start scripting, right? Because based on your requirement, what you will do, you will start scripting. So here scripting, JMeter will come, correct? In scripting only, JMeter will come. So you need to know the UI. First, you need to understand the user interface. User interface, I'm calling about an application. Okay. In applications, how it's working. Okay. What's the request? What's the response? How you have to pass the header. How you can understand the code. Okay. If you are not into the IT, it will be difficult to understand for you. But in theoretical view, I'm just telling how the request and how the response will be. For example, I'll share the different screen. It's my screen visible now. Chart. This screen is visible, right? The chart screen. Hello.
It is
Yes,
visible.
Yes. Yeah. So if we are new, right? So you need to know what's request, what's this mean. So basically, if you take, there is client. Sorry, please mute yourself. If you have any question, then unmute and please ask. So basically, the normal, if we are doing anything, that will be like a client, the server, right? Client means very basic. First, I'll tell very basic thing. Okay, client means our whatever system you are using, right? So you are the client. So whatever application you are accessing, that will reach to the server. Okay, so here what will happen, it will pass the request. Okay, you will pass the request. Based on your request, server will return your response. For example, you are searching something. Okay, even you are typing something Google, you are sending Google to the server, then Google will return your result, right? That result is response. Okay, so you're passing some request, you are returning some response. So you need to understand this basic. When returning this response, right, there are lots of status code. Okay, there are some status codes like 200, 300, 400, 500. I'll tell you the status code. What's the status code? If you are receiving this status code, what you have to do? So you have to understand the basic, how you are accessing the application, then only you can able to fix the script. It's very important. Okay, without understanding the code, you will not know, okay, what mistake you are doing, whether you are doing mistake or server is returning some error. So you have to know the basics of this network level. Okay, these things I will cover, because JMeter will not access UI. If I'm not sure how many of you know, JMeter will access the request. Okay, whatever request you are passing, it will capture those requests and it will return a response. It is not UI testing. Definitely you are capturing the request, it will return a response, but you will not see the UI. Okay, like an application, you will not see an UI. Okay, so this will cover in the interactions part. Okay, but everything we are going to see in practical. But before going to practical, you should know theoretical. So then only you can attend the interview, then only you can answer, right? So you should know theoretical as well as the practical. Okay, So any doubts in these introductions? Only in introductions.
So, what are the set of prerequisites a person should have in order to start with JMeter, or like what kind of background should he, what kind of foundation should he have basically?
So to start a JMeter, you have the Java should be installed in your machine. Okay, then JMeter too. Okay, JMeter you can also download from a Google. Okay, but suppose if but in real time if you are in a project, okay, you will not use your local machine, right? In your local machine, based on your network speed, you will receive the response. Suppose your networks, if you're using mobile data, you're accessing Google, your network speed will be slow, right? If you're using Wi-Fi with bandwidth, high bandwidth, your network will be fast. Same thing in a project, you will not use your local machine, they will give you a machine. Okay, there you have to install a JMeter. That time you need a Java as well as a JMeter. But these JMeter you can ask the team, okay, which version we want, so everything. So basically the prerequisite should be one
I'm
machine.
sorry.
That machine should be installed a Java.
I'm sorry. I'm
And
actually asking about the like what
language,
kind of
coming to the language, right?
what should he
Knowledge.
have knowledge? Yeah, what
Yes,
knowledge
yes,
should
and
he?
that's coming. Yeah, coming to the next point. So after JMeter and Java, then you should have a knowledge not in the normal Java. I'm not talking about the language. There is it's not completely a language perspective like a Java or C. So if you know some basics like if conditions are while, the normal controller level, that should be fine. But if we are well and good in Groovy or Java, there is also an options we can implement in JMeter. But basically no need to know any language in to understand for doing a JMeter. Suppose for worst scenario, I'm just talking about an worst scenario. If there is a scenario, okay, we can also implement those scripting in JMeter, either Groovy or Java, or you can also write JavaScripts with the help of processor. Okay, but it's not mandatory.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Right. Yeah. Also, you mentioned something about network, so you should have knowledge about network. Um. Some stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Got the idea. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just start from the scratch because others people should understand, right? When I'm talking about Java, maybe they should not get confused, right? So I start from, if you start a JMeter, what are the machines you need and what are the languages you need?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So any other doubts? Okay. I'm just jumping to scripting. Okay. So you know the requirement, you have the tool with you, but I'll tell you how to collect the tool, what are the informations you need, that I'll cover in life cycle. Don't worry, okay? How to collect those information. I'm just talking about the machine, right? That machine also I'll tell you if you are facing some issues, how you can approach with the team, that I'll tell you, okay? Also, I'll tell the common terminologies, okay? For example, when you're talking about the requirement in a project, you will call it as NFR document. So in project, you will use a different words. Okay, for example, if you call it as user, here we call it as virtual users. Okay, we call it as VU. So you need to know the technical words, that also I'll cover. Okay, so for example, if you are entering some 3 years or 4 years of experience, they will evaluate you, right? So when they are talking about virtual, how many virtual user you used, means you will get confused. So you should know the technical words how we used in performance testing, that I'll cover, don't worry. Then scripting. Okay, so you started a scripting based on the requirement. As we are seeing the basics, I'm just talking about the normal words. When we started a practical section, I will use only the technical words. Okay, I'll also tell, okay, this is the word, we will use the technical words in project. Okay, so we'll use a requirement, that is NFR. Okay, NFR, non-functional and requirement. Okay, so you're going to start a scripting based on those NFR, right? So you know which are the scenarios you have to cover. You will not cover an entire scenario. Okay. If you take a manual tester, what they will do, they will test each and every functionalities. But as a performance tester, we are going to evaluate only speed, scalability, and reliability. That I'll cover these introductions in a performance testing. Okay, each and everything will be get covered. Okay, if you are into the project, how you can handle. Okay, so when you start a scripting, okay, so you know the scenarios, right? So when you after you started a scripting, you know, you have the handy with the requirement, what are the scenarios you have to cover, right? So to cover those scenario means some steps I'm talking about. Okay, some script steps. For example, you are launched the application, you are logging into the applications, you will purchase something, then you will do logout. That steps I am call it as scenario. Okay. But in technical word, in a project, they will call different traversal flow. Okay. They will call it as traversal flow. So going forward, you will get to know, okay, what I'm talking about, how we can use the technical word that I'll tell. Okay. So as you know the basics, first I'll start the basic words, then you will catch the advanced words. Okay. So you're starting the scenario. So you have the scripts ready. To start the script, you should know some template, right? Every tool have some templates. So how you can cover those template, that will cover in JMeter scripting. In which phase I'll tell you. This an element. Okay, in scripting, to follow some template, you need to understand some elements. Okay, the element, so these are the options you have to select. After this, these options you have to select, then for recording, these options you have to select. So you have to know the element, so that element I'll cover. For example, if you see here an element, okay, you will start from test plan. Okay, there is some scenario, there is some detail we will see, but I'm just giving what the course syllabus is. Okay, you will see the scenario. Under the scenario, how many users you want to run. Here we'll talk about users, how many scenarios you are going to run. These users, we have a different element option in JMeter. I'll tell you which are the element you have to choose, when you have to choose those element. Okay, as well as controller. Control, you're talking about conditions, if conditions, for loop, while. So you need, right? You at least you should use the basic things, right? So the controller I'll cover. Okay, those explanations. Sampler means you are running something, you want to debug. Okay, you are running, you want to see whatever I am running the scripts is correct or not. To debug something, okay, to debug the request, we are using some samplers. I'll tell how the sampler, how we can select those samplers. Next is configurations. Configurations means you are going to run a different uses, you are going to run different data, so different set of data you will use, right? How we can pass those test data we are going to use for scripting, that will cover in configurations. Okay, assertion, you know, assertion means validations. So you are running something manually, you can see, okay, I'm just clicking some button, you will get some response, correct. But when you are going with a tool, when you are running for multiple users, you will not validate, right? Manually you can't validate. At the time, this assertion will help for validating purpose. Okay. Then timer. Why you need a timer? Manually, you are going to purchase something, you will log in, you will wait for some time, you will go and take your card, you will distract for something like 5 seconds or 3 seconds, right? Immediately you will not click next button, right? You will take some time. That's a user behavior, right? Maybe I'll wait for 2 seconds, you will wait for 5 seconds, you will think about it, you will cancel it. So those timer also we have to implement in tool, because we want the same behavior the tool should do, right? That is the timer. Okay. And this is very important topic. Okay. Pacing and think time. With this help of pacing and think time only, you can achieve your target. For example, I want to do only 10 times in 1 hour. 1 hour I want to place only 10 order. So that calculations we can cover in pacing and think time. That I'll cover. I'll tell you formulas, how you can implement in JMeter. This is very important. So if you, for example, in 1 hour you want to achieve 20, you are placing only 10 means you are wasting 1 hour time, right? So again you have to start the execution, so you will lag. So this is very important topic. Okay. But in a project we call it as workload modeling. In interview also they call it as workload modeling, so you'll get confused. These technical words I'll cover when we are going with practical section. Okay. For the basics to see the course content, just know about the syllabus. But when we are seeing the practical and when we are seeing the theoretical thing, I'll tell you the technical words, just note it down. Okay. So this one I'll tell you how we can achieve in JMeter. Okay. The listener means results. So you want to see the results, right? You are running something, you want to see those results. So which element you use? That is the listener. So here we are using the listener. Coming to the processor, suppose one person writes question, right? What language we need, right? Suppose you want to implement some language like a Java, some groovy scripting. Anyway, I'll cover BeanShell scripting. I'll tell you how to write the basics code. Okay, don't worry. Suppose if for anyway everyone have a bad luck, right? Suppose we are entering a project, you want to write some code, means you I don't want people to suffer, right? So I'll tell you how we can write the code. So code here we call it as custom code. In technical world they will call. Just ignore the technical word. If you want to write some code like a JavaScript or something, this processor will help. Okay. You can give some input to the JMeter element, then based on your input, script will execute. So to start the scripting itself, you need to understand the template, this element. Okay. So these I'll cover. Very important thing commonly used in a project I'll cover. Okay. We also have a functions, inbuilt functions are there. Okay. For example, inbuilt function, you no need to write anything, any code. Okay. Normally date functions will be there, time will be there, random number you can pick. So normally inbuilt functions will be there. I'll tell you the commonly used functions, how we can implement. Okay. Any doubts in elements? Okay. Before scripting itself, you should know these element. Okay. Without this element, you are not knowing which element you have to pick to start the scripting, right? So this element is very important. Okay. This is the starting. To start the scripting means you should know the element. So any doubts in elements? Okay, I'll take it as no. So going back to scripting. So you know these elements, right? So the elements is very important. I'll tell you how to use them. After that, you will start a recording. If you start the recording, you should know which browser you have to choose. in browser we have to do some settings. Based on a script settings only you can start those recording, then only it will capture the request. Suppose if you are facing some issues in recording, definitely in project you will not able to record all the time. Okay, you will face the issues. Sometimes firewall issues will happen, you have to reach the team to remove the firewall. So alternate ways I'll tell you how we can record those applications with help of different methods. Okay, that I'll cover when we are going with scripting. Okay, I'll cover how to do the scripting with a different approach. Okay, not only a JMeter, with the help of other thing also we can record and we can implement in JMeter. Okay, I'll tell. Okay, so JMeter, you need a certificate. I'll tell you how to install it. When you download, when you start recording itself, it will automatically generate certificate. But still, if you want to regenerate, I'll tell you how we can regenerate the source certificate. Okay, and you know this element. Okay, then for JMeter, we have some plugins. Okay, for example, if you take it as thread group, okay, you are going to run some 100 users or 200 users. Okay, there are different thread groups are there. Okay, I want this graphical view, I don't want this graphical views. Okay, means you can change those element with the help of plugin. Okay, so I'll tell you how to install those plugin and how we can uninstall it, that will cover. And also we can see the end to end. For example, end to end in the means from the start launch to log out the application, how we can record and how we can do the scripting. Okay, that will things, you know, these are already covered with different approach how we can enhance your script. Okay, and these two are very 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 important topic. Without this you can't fix the script. Okay, this is a template element, you should know how we can choose the template. But this concept how we can fix the script. Okay, so those are the concepts is like a correlations as well as a parameterization. This I'll tell. The correlations we also cover regular expression. Okay, I'll tell what's a regular expression, what's a correlations, and what's a parameterization, everything. To understand the basics now, I'll tell what's a parameterization and correlations. Parameterization means you are entering something like user input, like username you will enter, credit card details you will enter. So whatever you are feeding something to the applications you are entering, that is the parameterization. Okay, the correlations means you are entering something, you are sending request to the server is returning some back based on your user credentials, right? At the time, for example, currently now, for example, 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m. means based on your time snap you will get some response. So next user is hitting something, you will get different time snap, right? So the session id will get vary, so that you have to do correlations. Okay, from the response, from dynamic value is coming, that you have to do the correlations. Parameterization means user input, the correlations means dynamic value. Okay, these regular expression means when you are getting the dynamic value. Okay, every time you are getting different value. For example, my name is Priyanka, I'm just entering something, you will get some session id. Okay, based on my username you will get something, based on other things you will get something, right? You have to handle those, right? Then only your script is passed for different set of users, correct? That you have can handle with help of regular expression. Regular expression I'll cover with a real time also, because if you are in project sometimes your response will get vary. So I'll cover all the real time application, how we can do with the help of Google, how you can cover the different boundaries. Okay, so any doubts in scripting? Okay, so any course doubt in scripting level? Don't worry, now as you are just seeing the content of the course, maybe you will not catch it. Definitely without seeing your JMeter you will not know okay, what we are talking about plugins, what you are talking about installations, so everything will be new. But without knowing the course you will not start to the trainings, right? So just know what are the concepts we are going to cover, then you will get a better idea. When we are talking about a practical now, you can easily catch, okay, like that. Okay, so any doubts in scripting? Okay, then I'm jumping to execution. Execution is very important, right? After complete your scripting, you will jump into execution. Okay, this script is working fine. I'm going to run for multiple users. You can run it in two ways. I'll tell you what's the two ways. Non-GUI mode as well as GUI mode. GUI means graphical user interface. Okay, graphical user interface. This is not graphical user interface. This is graphical user interface. Okay, you are running for some iteration in the sense you are running for 5 times, you are going to run for only 5 times. Okay, you can run it in GUI. If you are going for 5,000 or 10,000 times you are going to run, means go with a non-GUI. I'll tell you when you are going to go with a non-GUI, when you are go to GUI, and how we can do it in GUI and non-GUI. Okay, it's very important thing. Okay, because when you're seeing 5,000 times in front of machine, it will get hang. Okay, so you should not run those many users in GUI mode. You have to run it in non-GUI mode. I'll tell how to run in GUI, non-GUI, how you can stop it and you can get those results. Okay, and after running this, it's very important, this summary report. Okay, the summary report, you will get one template. Without understanding you will not explain, okay, these are the details I got. See the client and just run the execution. I'm seeing this is the time we are getting, so application is very slow, so you have to explain your report, right? JMeter itself will generate one report, so you should know the content, then only you can explain to other people. So the summary report I'll explain. Okay, how the report looks like. Here the summary. Okay, how the report looks like, how we can cover. Okay, this is the response time we are getting. Okay, this many users I put into the applications, so these many throughput have achieved. Throughput in the sense, if you're running two iteration means how many target you are getting, right? So two, that I'm call it as throughput. In detail I'll explain later when we are talking about summary report, the technical word. Okay, so how many iterations we achieved, iteration in the sense how many times it executed. Okay, that things will cover in HTML report. Okay, and very important areas I'll cover. Okay, don't worry. In report means what are the informations you have to send in final place. This summary report, what are the informations you need, that I'll cover in execution part. Then it's one more thing is very important. These are all I'll complete in a single thing, then you can get it. Okay, but I will see in detail. Okay, why we need these variable and CSV means, okay, I am running script in my local. Okay, when you will give some path. Okay, this is the path I'm going to run the script. Okay, when I'm sharing the script to somebody else, my colleague, okay, that particular path will get varied, right? Folder, everything will get varied, correct? So script will fail. So you have to change the path. So other time, some other person, maybe night shift guy, they are coming and they are going to execute, means that person path will be get different. So everything, every path will get vary. So you, in order to run those script in all the machines, how we can handle the script, right? That I'll cover. How we can handle those variable, how we can use those data set config, how we can do the random. For example, I'm running, my name is Priyanka, some other person is ABC, for example. I'm A, some other person is B, some other person is C. So I don't want to run sequentially, okay? Maybe first time P should pick, second time I don't want, either A or C should pick. So user itself pick randomly, means how we can give those users in a test data, that I'll tell, okay? And other thing, distribute testing. Okay, distribute load testing means you have one machine. As I said, in machine you will install the JMeter, you are going to execute, correct? For example, in my machine I have the capacity to run only 50 users. I don't have 100 users capacity. Okay, I want another machines to run for the remaining user. For example, I have 100 users to execute by, but my machine capacity is only 50 users. So where I can put the remaining 50 users? So I need a different machines. So how you can handle different machines, and how we can execute the same script parallelly, and how we can collate those results, and how we can match, and how we can give the summary report, I'll tell, okay? Because I am running my own machine, I'll get one report. You are running one script, you will get one report. I want to merge it, right? So we also have those options in a JMeter to merge the results, and we can provide the report to the client. But for merging results, only 4 results maximum match, okay? Not more than that, okay? Be clear, for merging results only maximum you can match the 4 results, okay? Suppose if you have 8 results, what you can do? First, you can match 4 results. Second set of results you can match. Then you can match the final one. Likewise, you can do, but maximum in single machine you can match the 4 results. Okay. Then normal test executions and reporting. Okay. This is an additional things I will cover. The web services. I'll tell you why it's important. Okay. Not only web service. I'll cover DB as well. Okay. So when you are entering the project, you will do UI testing, correct? Manually, you will do something, you will capture those, and you will record this, and you will do an execution, right? Suppose instead of UI, they are giving some DB, database query, they are giving, means what you will do? Suppose they are giving web service, what you will do? I'll tell how we can do it in JMeter. So these type of executions I'll cover in JMeter executions. Any doubts in execution? How we are going to cover in practical section? Don't be silent. If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
hi
what are
Priyanka. I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Either we are going to be covered only for web applications or mobile applications also.
Not mobile applications, only the UI application, desktop applications we are going to cover. So any doubts?
there are a bunch of questions in the chat.
You mentioned questions?
There are a bunch of questions in the chat. Someone asked a few questions in the chat.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you. I'll didn't check. I'll check. Okay, ma'am will teach you different scenarios. Yes, different scenarios. Definitely, scenario in the sense which flow, how we can cover. Definitely, I'll cover different scenarios. So when you are entering the project, as I said, the regular expressions might get vary, depends on your applications. The practical way I'll tell, okay, I'll give you some example and I'll cover those scenarios. Okay, don't worry, I'll cover different scenarios for that's for yes. Okay, as in interviews, okay, yes, I'll cover those interview questions as well. So when you are doing some scripting, correct, when you're doing some scripting, you will face some lots of challenge. Okay, as I'm going to cover one application, right? So definitely in these applications only I'll tell you, okay, this is the challenge you will face, these are the challenge you will face, this scenario. So when you log in real-time project, you will face different scripting challenge, right? So based on my experience, 8 years experience, my colleague experience, I'll tell you what's the challenge we faced and how we can rectify it. That also I'll tell. Maybe in future, if you are facing those issues, reach out to me. I'll definitely help you. But in interview also that will help. Okay, this is a scripting challenge I faced, this is an execution challenge I faced, this is an approach I done. So first interview purpose also you can explain it. Okay. Also the training team will send you some set of documents as well as interview questions. Okay. So that also will cover. Okay. Then what about API testing? Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to cover an API testing. Because API testing is very simple. Definitely yes. Want not only I want to show only an UI testing, API testing also I want to cover with DB database also I want to cover. Yes.
And then one
Any
more thing, as we have different types of login authorizations are there presently. So you're going
yes.
to pick out all things. That means O authorization, which is the new thing, and then OTPs, login with OTP functionalities.
Actually, yeah, okay. I'll tell how you can get it from Google, okay, because the logic might get vary, right? So we don't have that kind of applications handy. But if you're facing in your real-time project, let me know. I can help you because I already worked in those things. But the token level, the authorizations, the token level I will cover, but I'll tell you how you can get those code from Google, okay? And coming to the second point, OTP, no, we will not do even real-time project. Definitely OTP will change. You have to turn stubs. Okay, in real-time project, you have to tell to the development team saying, because for I'm one user, I'll get one OTP. If you're using other credentials, I'll get different OTP. That will not cover in performance testing, right? So we have to give some hot coded number like 6 digit number and whatever number. Okay, we have to turn some steps on. Okay, these are the informations I'll tell you. Okay, how you can interact with the dev team and how you can implement and how you can start the applications. But answer is no. I'll not cover even that type of approach will not cover in any of the applications. You have to ask the team to turn on the stuff. Okay, they have to be hard code the OTP. It should not be the different the number for every user. Then that's not a performance testing. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
and when you are as you raise this question, I know you are into project or something. Suppose if you are facing any token issues, okay, some login is not working, try to get those API call from the team, then use those API, then try to log in the session. That's another token we can use. Okay, that's very important. Suppose if you are facing any authentications, try to get the token, try to understand, okay, if I want to log in these things, before that, what I have to do. Okay, just try to get those token. Either you can get it from Postman or Swagger or something, then implement the same thing in JMeter. Okay, I'll tell you how you can do it in API. Okay, but anyway, that's will cover in API testing. It's very simple, na? The normal thing. any doubts in syllabus how we are going to cover?
Are you going to be compare the scenarios with the LoadRunner also, or some other more tools are there beyond like that?
I'll
Some more
not,
purpose.
yeah, I'll tell you the scenarios with the LoadRunner as well as JMeter. I'll compare, but I will not, for example, if you take it as scripting means, I'll not tell, okay, this is how we have to do parameterization, correlations, and LoadRunner or something. Okay, but only the technical words, or for example, if you're writing some functions, this tool might get very. I'll highlight the points, I'll tell you the functions, but I'll not give complete KT on LoadRunner. Okay, I'll just compare whenever it's important, whenever it's required for interview purpose, to understand, for example, if you take it as think time, how you can understand between the JMeter and LoadRunner, that part I'll cover, not completely into the LoadRunner. Okay, it's completely JMeter course. For the additional purpose, I'm just telling, okay, this is a user we are using in JMeter. It's a open source. If it going to LoadRunner, it we have only 50 users. That kind of information for interview purpose, the function writing, that I'll cover 100%.
Then BlazeMeter, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, BlazeMeter, I'll tell you for recording because, as I said, in real time project, you will not get a chance to record in JMeter yourself. You will face some challenge. So, with the help of BlazeMeter, how we can record and how we can import those script in JMeter, I'll cover those in BlazeMeter.
So are we going to cover any APM tool in this course? Um, and also
Mm,
and also how to like, look into Java memory management while the application is under load, stuff like that, or only only the machine level metrics are we going to cover?
I will explain the basics of the monitoring thing with the help of Google, like a new lake. Okay, how you can see the dashboard, how we can it looks like monitoring when you see the report, right? So the response time, how you can check. Okay, but the heaps, when coming to the heap concept, suppose if you are facing some issues in JMeter, I'll tell you how you can handle those in JMeter level. Okay, but I'll not show the monitoring from Google. I'll show you what are the details you can check in order to cover the summary report. What are the bottlenecks you need to check? How you can check those informations I'll share. Okay, but we don't have any monitoring tools, the live monitoring tools. I'll take it from Google. From the Google, what are the informations? We have a screenshot, right? So I'll tell what are the informations you need to check. That I'll tell, not dumps, memory or heap dumps. But if you having any issues in JMeter, I'll tell when the execution is challenge. I said right, the challenges. When you are facing those challenge, how we can implement in JMeter properties, that I'll tell. And NFR document will not be share, okay? But I'll tell you how the template it looks like, okay? Don't worry. I'll share how it looks like, okay? But the document will not be shared because everything is into the project, right? So I'll tell you how the real-time project is looks like. That's it. But we will not share any documents related to NFR, or even a test report or test plan, anything. Okay, real-time project. Okay, real-time project will not cover. Okay, we will take one applications and we will give demo from start to end. But whatever challenge you will face in real time, right? That I will cover. For example, if I'm taking one Flipkart applications, okay, I'll face one challenge. Okay, Shubha asked different things, right? Authentications. If you're working in different application, you might get a chance to face an authentications challenge. If you're working other applications, you will get token challenge. So will not. So real time project will not help. Okay, every project will have different challenge. So the challenge I will cover, but we will take only one application to complete this course. But that applications, you know all the basics and you know how to write the code and everything. But in advanced, I'll tell you how you can get the code from Google and how you can write the processor in with the help of JMeter. Yes, I'll cover the basics of monitoring tool. Okay, I'll tell you different tools how it will be, but everything will be from Google. But if you take one monitoring tool, the content will be same for the different monitoring tool. There is no difference. Okay. Mm, okay, there is no integrations for monitoring tool, but I'll try to cover maybe Grafana. Okay, as your interest, everyone is asking for the monitoring, right? I'll try to cover the Grafana integrations. Okay, there you can see the dashboards and everything. I'll tell you the steps also. Okay, I'll create one document and I'll tell you the steps how you can integrate and how you can see. As it's open source, you can integrate with the Grafana, but when you are into the project, 100% you will have a monitoring tool. In worst scenario, if you don't have, we can check with the Grafana. Okay, but Grafana will not give a detailed informations like a real-time monitoring. Okay, in a real-time monitoring, you can see all informations like a web services, like a Java issues, top consumed transactions, everything you can see in real-time monitoring, right? So I will cover how you can check with the help of Google itself. Just I can't navigate the screen like a flow, but I'll cover from the snapshot. Okay, you will get it everything. Don't worry. Our course will be from start to end, how to attend the interviews and everything. Only this monitoring and the projects definitely will take one applications, but not a multiple applications. For example, I will cover one applications, but when you are entering to the project you will face a different challenge, right? So you should not feel bad, right? So why this challenge is not covered in training, because every applications will have different challenge, but I will cover all the basics things, even advanced level in my career. Okay, 100% you will work in real time project. So any other doubts? Be interactive. Okay, as I always said, you are paying money to learn something, I'll also get something, right? Gain your knowledge. If you're facing any challenge in real time project, let me know, I'll also gain some knowledge, right? From you I'll get something, from me you will get something. Okay, so be interactive. If you have any doubts, please reach out to me. Okay, if I'm not reachable quickly in WhatsApp, okay, just ping a message, I'll reply whenever I'm free. Okay, still my students are in contact. Okay, any other doubts? Okay, I'll take it as no. Suppose if you want to process the payment, please contact with Kumar. Okay, I'm not involved in the payment level or anything. Okay, if you have any questions related to JMeter, reach out to me. If you are payment related or other related, reach out to Kumar sir. Okay, I know you will have a number in WhatsApp. Okay, reach out to him for the further process. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then we'll see tomorrow at the same time. Still, you have any doubts, please bring your queries. Okay, if you're not being interactive, you are getting shy or you're getting afraid to speak, don't worry, just contact me in personal, you can call me. Okay, I'll try to interact. Okay, I'm just working in UK shift only, mostly night time also I'll be available, so don't worry.
Okay.
Also, I'll record this session. Okay, you will get these recording whenever, suppose if one or two classes if you are missing, right, the recording will be available. You can watch the recording. If you have any doubts, you can ask those questions in next session. Okay, and also I'm planning, once we completed, right, I'll connect and I'll schedule one interview. Okay, so how many days? Maximum within a month we can cover, but still sometime if we have lots of questions, it may get extend. Or we can also, if we are very easily catching everything soon, it get reduced also. Depends, because I didn't evaluate your end, right? Didn't we start a practical, right? As of now, just target as month. We'll see based on, once I started interacting based on doubts, the practical section, then I can evaluate and I can tell. As of now, take it as 30 the month. And also weekend also I'll be available. Don't worry, weekend if you have any doubt, just ping me. Okay. 90 percentage I'll be available on weekends. Okay. Okay, then fine. Then just process your payment and contact your Kumar sir. Okay. Then we'll see the next session. Okay. I'll start tomorrow. We'll start from the starting from the introductions of performance testing. And also I want, whenever I'm just covering some topic, right, just do practice then and there. Okay, don't consolidate all the topic and do it in a single day, then you will lost something, right? You don't know which element we have to choose or something. Still again you have to go to the recordings, so you'll get lag, right, somewhere. So try to do practice then and there. If you have any doubts, you can also ask now. So don't wait for 2 3 classes to complete then go through. So don't wait for that. Okay, then stop recording. We'll see. Yeah, thank you all.